Have you ever considered that some of the simplest things you still do after 65 might be the most compelling indicators that you're on a path of living a long and vibrant life, perhaps even reaching 100? It's not about elusive genetic advantages or miraculous supplements, but rather the everyday abilities that quietly reveal just how resilient, strong, and long-living you truly are. In this exploration, we'll delve into 8 specific aspects of your life that suggest you're well on your way to a longer, healthier existence, possibly even reaching that remarkable centennial milestone. These aren't mere speculations. They're grounded in decades of rigorous studies on healthy aging, and they reflect the core systems that keep you mentally sharp, physically mobile, emotionally engaged, and fully independent. Each of these signs may seem insignificant on its own, but collectively, they paint a vivid picture of someone whose mind and body are aging with strength and vitality, not succumbing to the passage of time. You might not even realize just how well you're doing until you see these signs laid out before you. So stay with me until the end, because you'll not only discover what these signs are, but also understand why they matter so much and how to protect and nurture them for as long as possible. If even 1 or 2 of these resonate with you, take it as a well-deserved reason for pride and perhaps a gentle nudge to keep moving forward with purpose. Let's embark on this insightful journey together. First, consider the seemingly simple ability to walk for 30 minutes without needing to stop. This is one of the clearest and most consistent indicators that your body is aging gracefully. We're not talking about racing or speed walking, but simply maintaining a steady, purposeful movement, whether you're enjoying a leisurely stroll through your neighborhood, navigating the aisles of your local grocery store, or simply pacing your driveway. This seemingly ordinary act holds a tremendous amount of information about your long-term health and well-being. Why is this ability so significant? Because walking is far more than just a means of getting from point A to point B. It's a comprehensive, full-body coordination test. Your lungs, your heart, your muscles, your joints, and even your brain must all work in perfect harmony in real time. Therefore, if you're over 65 and can still walk comfortably for that duration without experiencing shortness of breath, joint pain, or the need to stop and rest, that's not just a sign of good health, it's a testament to your remarkable resilience. There's a reason why doctors often inquire about the walking habits of their older patients, asking about how far or how often they walk, because the answers provide valuable insights into their cardiovascular strength, balance, energy levels, and even their risk of age decline. People who walk regularly and with ease tend to have lower blood pressure, improved memory retention, healthier blood sugar levels, and stronger immune responses. It's all interconnected in fascinating ways. But there's something deeper at play here as well. The ability to move through the world with ease reflects how connected you still are to the rhythm and vitality of life itself. During your walks, you might encounter neighbors and engage in friendly conversations. You have the opportunity to breathe in fresh air and soak up some sunlight, and you maintain an upright posture, staying actively engaged with your surroundings. Walking in many subtle yet profound ways helps to keep your mind and body synchronized with the natural flow of daily life. I once met a remarkable man named Walter. He was 80 years old and sharp as a tack. His secret? He walked every single morning, rain or shine. It wasn't an intense workout, just a quiet 30-minute loop around his block. He shared that it helped him think more clearly, sleep more soundly, and maintain a strong sense of self. And as it turned out, Walter lived a long and fulfilling life, outliving many of his peers, not because he chased after some elusive fountain of youth, but because he consistently kept his body in gentle motion. Now, if walking for 30 minutes sounds like a bit of a challenge at this stage in your life, that's not necessarily a cause for alarm, but it is definitely a reason to pay closer attention to your body's signals. Stamina can often fade away quietly, sometimes even before pain becomes apparent. You might start taking shorter routes, skipping a few steps here and there, or finding yourself sitting down more often than you used to. This gradual shrinking of your world is often how age decline begins. not with a slow and almost imperceptible collapse, but with a slow and almost imperceptible withdrawal from activity. The good news is that your walking ability can be preserved and even improved with consistent effort. You don't need a gym membership or fancy athletic shoes. You simply need the commitment to keep moving. Every step you take sends a powerful message to your body. I'm still here, I'm still strong, I'm still going. So if you're someone who still walks 30 minutes with ease, hold on to that ability with pride and gratitude. And if you're not quite there yet, consider it a gentle and personal challenge. Aim for a little more each day, a little farther each week, because every minute you spend on your feet is another moment you're investing in keeping your body vibrant and youthful. Secondly, let's explore the ability to remember names, appointments, and daily tasks with ease. If you're over 65 and can still recall names without hesitation, remember appointments without needing constant reminders, and keep up with your daily tasks without feeling mentally foggy, then you're already achieving something quite remarkable. Maintaining mental sharpness at this stage in life isn't just a pleasant bonus. It's one of the clearest indicators of long-term brain health and overall life expectancy. While it's true that our brains naturally process information a bit more slowly as we age, and we might occasionally take an extra moment to find a particular word or retrace a thought, what we're focusing on here is not a temporary delay, but rather the consistent ability to retain, organize, and retrieve information effectively. If you still find yourself saying things like, "Oh yes, I remember her son's name is Timothy," or if you can manage your own schedule without relying heavily on assistance from others, it demonstrates that the neural pathways in your brain are still well connected and actively functioning. This level of cognitive strength at this age signifies far more than just the ability to remember trivial facts. It indicates that you're maintaining your independence, navigating your own life with confidence, making sound decisions, solving problems effectively, and staying mentally engaged with the world around you. This kind of mental agility doesn't happen by accident. It's often the result of years of cultivating healthy habits that protect and nourish your brain, such as prioritizing good sleep, engaging in regular physical movement, maintaining a balanced and nutritious diet, fostering meaningful social interactions, and nurturing a persistent sense of curiosity and lifelong learning. There's also an often overlooked sense of confidence that accompanies mental clarity. When your mind is sharp and focused, you tend to trust your own thoughts and judgments. You don't find yourself constantly second-guessing every little thing, and you're not living in a state of worry over whether you've forgotten something important. This very peace of mind, in and of itself, plays a significant role in protecting your emotional well-being, lowering stress levels, and allowing you to fully savor and enjoy the life you've built. Take the example of Eleanor, a vibrant 77-year-old who manages her own schedule with remarkable precision. She effortlessly remembers birthdays, coordinates community events, and still enjoys playing word games every evening with her husband. Her doctor once remarked that she had the cognitive clarity of someone 20 years younger. And this wasn't simply a matter of luck. It was the result of her consistent and proactive habits. She was an avid reader, she stayed socially connected, she asked insightful questions, and she never stopped learning new things. Her insatiable curiosity served as her most powerful medicine. The truth is, the human brain thrives on intellectual challenge, and the moment we stop providing it with something to reach for, whether it's a challenging crossword puzzle, a new recipe, a stimulating phone call with a friend, or a new and engaging hobby, it can begin to power down. So if you're someone who still remembers details with ease and moves through your day with mental clarity, you're not just lucky, you're demonstrably healthy. And if you've noticed yourself slipping a little, forgetting names more often, needing more reminders to stay on track, or losing track of time, that doesn't necessarily mean that cognitive decline is inevitable. The human brain possesses a remarkable degree of adaptability, and new neural pathways can still be built and ingrained habits can still be rewired. But it all starts with a heightened awareness and a conscious decision to actively remain mentally engaged. Therefore, if you still have a sharp memory and can navigate your day with mental clarity, hold on to that precious ability, nourish it with stimulating activities, challenge it with new information, and keep it working through continuous engagement. Because a mind that stays clear and active at this stage in life is far more than just a useful tool. It's a precious gift and often stands as one of the strongest and most encouraging signs that your road ahead might be longer and more fulfilling than you currently imagine. Thirdly, let's consider the seemingly simple yet surprisingly significant ability to get up from a chair or the floor without using your hands. There's an inherent power and a profound sense of independence in being able to rise from a seated position or even the floor without needing to brace yourself or push off with your hands for support. While it might not sound like a particularly big deal, this seemingly basic movement actually holds a surprising amount of meaning when it comes to assessing your overall health, your physical mobility, and your continued independence after the age of 65. Why is this seemingly small feat so important? Because standing up from a seated position without the assistance of your arms requires a coordinated effort involving strong leg muscles, solid core stability, good balance, and effective coordination, all of which are absolutely essential for preventing falls, maintaining confidence in your physical movements, and preserving the kind of fundamental freedom that makes navigating daily life feel manageable and dignified. Just think about it for a moment. When you can smoothly rise from your favorite armchair, effortlessly get out of a car, or even get up from the floor after bending down to pick something up, it's a clear and reassuring sign that your body is still functioning as a unified and responsive system. More importantly, it strongly indicates that your lower body, particularly your leg muscles, hasn't experienced a significant loss of strength, which is absolutely critical. Numerous studies have consistently shown that leg strength, especially in the quadriceps and hip muscles, is one of the strongest predictors of longevity and the prevention of falls in older adults. Falls are not simply random accidents for many seniors. A single fall can unfortunately initiate a cascade of negative health consequences, including physical injuries, extended hospital stays, a significant reduction in self-confidence, and ultimately a decrease in overall physical movement. This is precisely why being able to stand up on your own, particularly without the need to use your hands for leverage, is such an important physical marker. It transcends mere convenience. It's a powerful reflection of how well your musculoskeletal system is aging and functioning. Consider the example of a vibrant individual named Franklin, age 75. He had never been particularly interested in going to the gym, but every single morning he made it a point to sit down on his living room rug, perform a few gentle stretches, and then stand back up without using his hands for any support. When he casually mentioned this routine to his physical therapist during a routine checkup, he was told, "You're doing better than half the people a decade younger than you." This is because the ability to rise from the floor is something that many individuals begin to lose without even realizing it until they attempt it one day and find that they are no longer able to do so. However, the encouraging news is that this particular physical ability is often quite trainable. If you've started to notice yourself using your hands more frequently to help you get up, or finding that you need to exert significantly more effort to push yourself out of a chair, that doesn't mean it's too late to make improvements. It simply means that your body is signaling a need for additional support and attention. Even incorporating simple chair squats, leg raises, or seated exercises into your daily routine can be remarkably effective in helping to restore lost strength and improve overall coordination. What truly matters is not whether you've experienced some degree of slowing down over time, but whether you are still able to lift yourself with control and stability. That seemingly simple movement represents far more than just muscle strength. It embodies autonomy. The ability to get up on your own signifies that you are not dependent on others for something as basic and vital as physical movement. It means that your nervous system, your brain, and your muscles are still communicating effectively with each other and working together in a coordinated manner. So if you are someone who can still stand up from a seated position or the floor without using your hands for assistance, take a moment to feel genuinely proud of that accomplishment. It's not something to take for granted. It's a clear reflection of your underlying strength, your physical resilience, and the kind of body that likely has many more active and independent years ahead. Because the day you stop being able to get up with ease is often the day your world begins to feel a little bit smaller, and it doesn't have to be that way. Fourthly, let's turn our attention to the often underappreciated ability to consistently sleep soundly through the night and wake up feeling genuinely refreshed. This might seem like a normal and expected part of daily life, but if you're over 65 and still able to fall asleep relatively easily, stay asleep throughout the entire night without frequent disruptions, and wake up in the morning feeling truly rested and rejuvenated, you're achieving something that many people your age quietly struggle with. Why does this aspect of your well-being matter so profoundly? Because good quality sleep isn't just about feeling alert and awake in the morning. It's during the deep and restorative phases of sleep that your brain undertakes essential cleanup work, effectively clearing away metabolic waste products, actively consolidating important memories, and diligently repairing vital nerve connections. During sleep, your heart rate naturally slows down, your blood pressure typically drops, and your entire body shifts into a crucial healing and repair mode. And for older adults, this restorative process becomes even more essential because your immune system, your cognitive functions, and your hormonal balance all rely heavily on consistent and high-quality sleep to keep functioning optimally. When your sleep patterns begin to break down or become consistently disrupted, a cascade of other health issues can often follow. Individuals who don't experience restful sleep tend to have more difficulties with memory and concentration, experience more pronounced mood swings, struggle with blood sugar regulation, and even have issues with their balance and coordination. Poor sleep has been consistently linked to a higher risk of serious health conditions such as stroke, depression, weight gain, and even dementia. And perhaps the most concerning aspect is that many seniors simply accept poor sleep as an inevitable and unavoidable part of the aging process. But it doesn't have to be this way. Let me share the experience of a remarkable woman named Corinne, age 79. She had gradually started waking up 4 or 5 times every night and had come to believe that this was just a normal part of getting older, often saying, "Everyone my age does." But when she finally mentioned her sleep struggles to her doctor during a routine checkup, they ran some simple blood tests and discovered that her iron levels were quite low, and she was also experiencing mild dehydration. A few thoughtful changes to her evening routine, drinking more water earlier in the day, incorporating an iron-rich snack before bedtime, and establishing a consistent lights-out time, led to a dramatic improvement in her sleep quality. She often said that it felt like her whole world had opened back up to her. There's a very good reason why sleep is often referred to as the foundation of good health. You can diligently eat well, engage in daily physical movement, and maintain an active social life, but if your sleep is consistently broken and unrested, the benefits of all those other healthy habits are significantly diminished, often cut in half. And if you consistently wake up still feeling tired and drained, that's not truly restful sleep. That's merely a state of unconsciousness. If you are someone who still enjoys the blessing of sleeping soundly through the night and consistently wakes up with sufficient energy to enthusiastically take on the day's activities, that's not something to overlook or take for granted. That's your body sending you a clear signal that its internal systems, your hormones, your nervous system, and your stress response mechanisms are still functioning in harmonious balance. This delicate balance becomes increasingly harder to maintain as we age, and sleep quality often deteriorates before other more obvious symptoms begin to appear. Now, if your sleep isn't quite where you feel it should be, Please don't simply write it off as an inevitable consequence of aging. There are literally dozens of factors that can significantly affect your sleep quality, ranging from the temperature and light levels in your bedroom to the medications you might be taking and the timing of your meals. But what matters most is recognizing that sleep is not just a passive state of inactivity. It's actually one of the most active and vital things your body does to support your long-term health and well-being. And here's the key takeaway. Deep, consistent, high-quality sleep isn't a luxury. It's an absolutely vital sign. If your body still knows how to effectively wind down at the end of the day, stay peacefully restful throughout the night, and rebuild and rejuvenate itself while you slumber, it means that your internal systems are still working together in remarkable harmony. And that kind of internal harmony is one of the strongest and most encouraging signs that you're truly built for the long haul, ready to embrace the years ahead with vitality and grace. Fifth, let's explore the profound impact of maintaining meaningful relationships and social connections. If you're over 65 and still actively nurture your friendships, stay in close touch with family members, or regularly spend quality time with people who are important to you, then you're doing something that many people significantly underestimate, something that's deeply and inextricably tied to your longevity and overall well-being. Social connection isn't just a pleasant comfort to enjoy in later life. It's a true lifeline, and it plays a far more significant role in determining how long and how well you live than many people realize. Numerous studies have shown that consistent social engagement is just as crucial to your health as regular physical exercise or maintaining a balanced and nutritious diet. In fact, loneliness and social isolation have been linked to an increased risk of a wide range of health problems, including heart disease, depression, weakened immunity, and even premature death. But genuine connection, the kind that nourishes your soul, helps to protect against these risks, keeps your mind sharp and engaged, stabilizes your mood, and makes your body more resilient in the face of challenges. That's because healthy relationships provide something that no pill or supplement can ever replicate. They give you a reason to get up in the morning with a sense of purpose, a reason to laugh and experience joy, and a reason to care about something beyond yourself. That feeling of being seen, being needed, and being valued is a powerful tonic that nourishes you not just emotionally, but also biologically. Consider the example of Robert, age 82. After his beloved wife passed away, he found himself living alone. But every week, without fail, he made it a point to meet up with a small group of close friends at a local diner. They would talk, share jokes, and reminisce about old stories. And he often said that 1 hour each week gave him the strength and resilience to keep going. He called it his medicine without a label, and he was absolutely right. Social interaction actually has a tangible effect on the levels of stress hormones in your body. It improves blood flow to your brain, it supports better sleep quality, and when you engage in meaningful conversations with people who genuinely care about you, your body literally responds by reducing inflammation and supporting healthy immune function. Even simple gestures of connection can make a significant difference. A heartfelt phone call, a shared lunch, a brief visit from a friendly neighbor. You don't need a vast social circle, you just need genuine connection. Because isolation doesn't always look like sitting alone in an empty room. Sometimes it can manifest as going days without having a meaningful conversation, or not having someone you feel safe and comfortable opening up to. That kind of emotional solitude can wear down your health in ways that are often invisible, but profoundly powerful. So if you're someone who still actively keeps in touch with friends, checks in on loved ones, or finds genuine joy in connecting with others, you're doing far more than just staying social. You're actively protecting your mind and body from the insidious wear and tear of loneliness. And if your social circle has shrunk a bit over the years, or if your world feels quieter than it once did, that doesn't mean it's too late to rebuild and reconnect. Start small. Join a class or group that interests you, reach out to an old friend, or say yes to an invitation you might ordinarily decline, because just one meaningful exchange each day can begin to turn the tide. Human beings are inherently wired for connection. We survive on it, we thrive on it, and when you're still actively nurturing those connections after 65, you're doing something truly remarkable. You're choosing life in the most profoundly human way possible. Sixth, let's turn our attention to the ability to prepare and enjoy nutritious meals on your own. If you're over 65 and still preparing your own meals, carefully choosing fresh ingredients, cooking them with mindful attention and sitting down to savor and enjoy what you've created, then you're doing far more than simply feeding yourself. You're demonstrating one of the most essential and often underestimated signs of long-term vitality: daily self-sufficiency, grounded in awareness, discipline, and a deep sense of dignity. Preparing meals might seem like an ordinary and mundane task, but it's actually a complex and multifaceted skill. It involves careful planning, physical movement and coordination, memory recall, and often a sense of purpose and creativity. You're making conscious choices about what to eat based on what your body needs. You're navigating your kitchen with safety and awareness. You're timing different ingredients and managing heat with precision. And you're making a series of decisions that demonstrate your cognitive and physical abilities. This means that your body and mind are still working in harmonious alignment. Moreover, your ability to cook and enjoy your own food reveals that you still value your health and well-being, and that you're not passively drifting through the day. You're actively choosing nourishment over mere convenience, engaging with the details of daily life with intention, and investing in the quality of your future self. Let's consider a real-life example. I once knew a remarkable woman named Eleanor, 85 years old, who cooked herself a full breakfast every single morning: eggs, toast, fresh fruit, and a steaming cup of coffee, prepared exactly the way she liked it. She often said, "It's how I know I'm still myself." Her son once offered to bring her pre-made frozen meals to make things easier, and she simply smiled and replied, "That's the first step to giving up." For Eleanor, preparing her own food wasn't just about the act of eating. It was a powerful symbol of her independence and self-reliance. And there's an even deeper layer to this. The types of food you prepare and enjoy can reveal a great deal about how well your body is aging. When older adults consistently choose to eat leafy greens, colorful vegetables, lean proteins, healthy nuts and seeds, and whole grains, it's a strong indication that they're actively working to keep inflammation in check, maintain healthy muscle mass, support optimal brain function, and protect their cardiovascular health. But when healthy eating habits begin to slip, when meals become irregular, overly processed, or skipped altogether, it's often one of the earliest signs of a potential decline in overall well-being. That's because cooking requires energy, both physical and mental. And when someone begins to lose that energy or that interest, it often shows up first in the kitchen. They might stop planning meals, opt for quick snacks instead of balanced dishes, or have a refrigerator that looks emptier than usual. These seemingly small changes can often whisper warnings long before more significant symptoms begin to shout. So, if you're still cooking meals that you enjoy, if you find genuine satisfaction in preparing and savoring your own food, that's something to celebrate. It means you're still engaged with life, and that sense of care and attention extends far beyond the plate. But if you've lost that spark, if cooking feels like a burden rather than a pleasure, or if you find yourself skipping meals more often, it might be time to check in with yourself. Is it fatigue, a change in mood, or a lack of appetite? Sometimes, all it takes is a little inspiration or support, a shared meal with a friend, a new and exciting recipe, or a trip to a vibrant farmer's market to reignite that vital connection to food. Because food isn't just fuel, it's also memory, it's rhythm, and it's a powerful way to connect with the world around you. And when you're still actively creating nourishment for yourself after 65, you're holding on to something profoundly life-affirming. Seventh, let's discuss the ability to handle your own finances and medications without confusion. If you're over 65 and still managing your own bills, bank accounts, and medications without needing someone to double-check your work, you're demonstrating something truly significant. This kind of mental organization and daily responsibility is a powerful sign of long-term cognitive strength and continued independence, and it reveals a great deal about how well your brain is functioning. Handling your finances isn't just about writing checks or using a credit card. It involves a complex interplay of memory, logic, attention to detail, and long-term planning. You have to keep track of due dates, understand complex financial statements, recognize potential errors, and be vigilant in avoiding scams. This is a clear demonstration of executive function in action. Your brain operating at a high level, quietly, consistently, and effectively. And when it comes to managing medications, the stakes are even higher. Knowing what medications to take, when to take them, and in what dosage, without missing doses or making mistakes, requires sharp attention and unwavering discipline. Medication errors are one of the most common causes of preventable hospital visits among seniors, so the ability to manage them independently isn't just a small victory, it's a major safeguard for your health and well-being. What this all points to is decision-making. If you can still make clear, timely, and informed decisions about your money and your health, you're actively protecting your independence every single day. And that skill, often taken for granted, is one of the first things to decline when cognitive function begins to fade. I remember a gentleman named Harold, 78 years old, who meticulously tracked all his expenses on a yellow legal pad, balanced his checkbook each week, and reviewed his medication list every single month. When his daughter offered to take over his finances to make things easier, he politely declined, saying, "Not yet. I want to keep my mind sharp." And he was absolutely right. His attention to detail kept him mentally active, boosted his confidence, and allowed him to remain in control of his own life. Now, if you've started noticing some small slips, such as missing a payment, mixing up your pill bottles, or needing help organizing your schedule, that's not something to hide or be ashamed of. It's something to explore with curiosity and self-compassion, because sometimes making small adjustments to your routines can help protect you from more significant risks down the road. Setting up automatic payments for recurring bills, using pill organizers to ensure correct dosages, and utilizing clearer calendars or digital reminders are tools to help, not signs of failure. What matters most is your awareness of these changes and your willingness to stay actively involved in managing these crucial aspects of your life. Because once you stop paying attention to your financial and medical life, you inadvertently give that control to someone else. And while help is sometimes necessary and appreciated, being able to direct your own affairs is deeply intertwined with your sense of self-respect, your autonomy, and your overall quality of life. So if you're still managing these aspects of your life independently and without significant trouble, that's not just doing fine. It's a powerful sign that your mind is still sharp, your systems are still strong, and your life is still under your command. And for someone aiming to live a long, healthy, and fulfilling life, perhaps even reaching that coveted centennial milestone, that's one of the most powerful and encouraging signs there is. Finally, let's consider the profound significance of the ability to wake up each day with a sense of purpose and curiosity. If you're over 65 and still wake up in the morning with a reason to start your day, something you genuinely look forward to, something you care deeply about, something that gently pulls you out of bed with anticipation, that's not just good for your mood. It's one of the most powerful predictors of longevity and overall well-being that we know of. Because purpose isn't just a fleeting feeling, it's a powerful fuel that keeps your mind alert, your heart engaged, and your body willing to keep going even when faced with challenges. Having a sense of purpose doesn't mean you have to be working a demanding job or chasing after grandiose goals. It can be as simple as tending to a beloved garden, taking your loyal dog for a walk, expressing your thoughts and feelings in a journal, volunteering your time to a cause you believe in, calling your children or grandchildren to stay connected, helping a neighbor in need, or even simply learning something new just because it sparks your curiosity. That little spark of, I have something meaningful to do today, is what gives the day its structure, direction, and joy. Researchers have found time and again that people who have a reason to get out of bed in the morning, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, tend to live longer, get sick less often, and recover more quickly when they do. It's not magic, it's the power of motivation. Purposeful people tend to move more, connect more deeply with others, take better care of themselves, and their bodies respond in kind by staying younger and more resilient for longer. Consider the example of a remarkable woman named Beatrice, 84 years old, who creates beautiful handmade cards for every birthday in her church group. She often says, "It's a silly little thing, but it makes people smile." What she may not fully realize is that in doing this simple act of kindness, she's also strengthening her memory, keeping her hands dexterous and agile, staying socially connected with her community, and giving her heart a profound sense of belonging, all through one small, weekly ritual. On the other hand, when people lose that sense of purpose, things tend to decline more rapidly. Days can feel longer and more monotonous, energy levels dip significantly, conversations can feel flat and uninspiring, and the future can seem less inviting and full of possibility. That's why some people seem to age so quickly after retirement or after experiencing a significant loss. They haven't just lost a job or a loved one, they've lost their sense of direction and meaning. But here's the beautiful and encouraging truth. Purpose can always be rebuilt, rediscovered, and redefined at any age. It just has to be meaningful and personally fulfilling to you. It doesn't have to impress anyone else or meet some grand external goal. It simply has to matter enough to you that you want to wake up and do it again tomorrow. If you still feel that spark of curiosity, if you still have a desire to learn, to help others, to grow as a person and to give back to the world in your own unique way, that's not just a sign that your spirit is strong and resilient. It means that your brain is still flexible and adaptable, your emotions are still vibrant and active, and your body is still listening to your inherent will to live. And in many ways, that's one of the clearest and most inspiring signs that you're not just aging, you're still actively becoming the best version of yourself. So if you wake up each day with something to look forward to, cherish that feeling, because that quiet drive and passion inside you might be one of the strongest reasons you've made it this far, and one of the most compelling reasons you'll continue to thrive and flourish for many years to come, defying expectations and living life to the fullest. In conclusion, now that we've explored these 8 key signs, I encourage you to reflect on how many of them you recognize in yourself. Perhaps 1 or 2 stood out immediately, or perhaps you saw yourself reflected in more of them than you initially expected. Either way, take a moment to truly sit with that realization, because if you're over 65 and you can still do these things with relative ease, it's not just a matter of luck or chance, it's a powerful indication that your mind and body are still working in remarkable ways. These aren't just nice-to-have abilities, they're early indicators of longevity, continued independence, and a high quality of life. Each one of them reflects core systems that are still strong and functioning well. Your cardiovascular health, your musculoskeletal system, your cognitive abilities, your daily habits, and your overall sense of purpose. And when all of those systems are working together in harmony, that's the kind of internal balance that adds not just years to your life, but truly adds life to your years. Of course, it's important to remember that not everyone will check every single box, and that's perfectly okay. This isn't a rigid test or a competition. It's simply a roadmap, a guide to help you understand what matters most, and what's still within your reach to cultivate and strengthen. Because the encouraging truth is that many of these things can be regained, strengthened, or improved with time, focused attention, and a little consistent effort. If there's one key takeaway from this exploration, let it be this. Longevity isn't solely about avoiding illness or the absence of disease. It's about actively staying involved in your own life, engaging with the world around you, and nurturing the essential elements of what makes life meaningful: movement, memory, purpose, connection, and self-respect. And if you still possess even a few of these signs in your life, then you're already ahead of the curve and well on your way to a longer, fuller, and more vibrant future. So here's what I'd love to know from you. Which of these 8 signs do you see most prominently in yourself today? And which one are you most inspired to work on and strengthen in the year ahead? Thank you for joining me on this insightful journey. Your thoughts and experiences are incredibly valuable, and I encourage you to leave a comment below and share one key takeaway from today's discussion and how you plan to incorporate it into your own life. Your feedback provides us with great motivation and encouragement, and we truly appreciate you taking the time to share your perspective. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful and informative, please like, subscribe, and share it with others. Your support helps us continue creating valuable content to inform, inspire, and empower you on your path to optimal well-being. Thanks again for watching, and we look forward to connecting with you in the next video.